one of the very beginning places of yoga meditation. It's really the loving kindness meditation, which is an old one that I used to do all the time, but haven't done in a long time. And it's where you look at four statements. So as you're breathing the gratitude through your heart and you're making the sparkle of gratitude, which I see as rainbow light, which I see as like every one of my cells. And then you can go into the cell and see all the organelles. And if you haven't looked at the internal structure of a cell for a long time, just pull up a picture from the web. Because it's really beautiful how cells are the mini you. They're just like you. And within those cells is the information that creates who you are. And that interesting place within us that that is also the understanding of our power center, which also in the cell, it's the mitochondria. And you might want to study that a little bit, just with a little search on these remarkable machines. And start to just be in a relaxed place, like really ground and feel the body's weight on the floor. Whatever position you are, I mean, you're on a recliner, the floor, even in a chair, anywhere you are, you can do this. So just finding that letting go, just being in the place where the mind is only breathing gratitude through the heart. The mind, the brain is creating the imagination. Be inspired by the visual that you might come to with that meditation of what does it look like? How does gratitude sparkle inside every cell? How does your aura, how do you feel, see, imagine the aura outside your skin as this shimmery light? So working with that, and then, may I be free from suffering and pain. May I be happy and joyful. May I experience compassion and kindness. May I know my true nature, which is love. And each of those statements has a visual to it. What do you visual? Your visual of, may I be free of suffering and pain. You can think of one little thing, like, a toe, a tooth, whatever, a little tiny thing. May I be free from that suffering or in pain around it. It's working with, okay, I'm going to shift my consciousness to turn this around a little bit. And happy and joyful. What do you look like when you're happy and joyful? See that image in your consciousness. And may I experience compassion and kindness and knowing what that is when you receive it, and knowing what your true nature is, and what does it mean to have my true nature as love. Then you give this to someone else, and you can think of that person. May you be free from suffering and pain. May you be happy and joyful. May you experience compassion and kindness. May you know your true nature, that is love. So sending that to someone who needs, or that piece. And then you take the same four statements and you live by these. With the next statement is, may all beings be free from suffering and pain. May all beings be happy and joyful. May all beings experience compassion and kindness. And may all beings know their true nature, which is love. Then take a moment just to digest the languaging of this very ancient prayer. It's always done, usually it's done in Sanskrit, comes from Buddhism, has spread around the world to all of the different traditions that have come from the Indian traditions. And then continue to visualize. You are a visionary. Your visionary self comes out in a variety of ways. And you are a collage, bringing all of your skills, your talents, and all the little details of who you are into this being that has been given a name. And then you can think of your house as a collage, your the little properties that you are on as a collage, a city as a collage. You know, a collage emerged in art, early in the 60s, 50s, 60s into the 70s as this new emerging, expanding art field. But it's really just a representation of all of life. Then for a moment, imagine gratitude. First the gratitude, then imagine what you think love is. What does it look like? What comes forward? Now we know that gratitude lights up the body somehow more than love when on a scale measurement of an electrical measurement of the thought of gratitude and the thought of love. And you might consider why that is. What makes gratitude sparkle more than that other word? And they're just words, but they hold energy. And I like them together. So just see what happens for you as you contemplate those two words. Then bring your fingertips together and your thumbs to your heart. Then the thumbs to the third eye. And then let it go. Most of you are, I imagine you're on the floor, so I'm just going to come down to the floor. If you've been in stillness in one way or another, find your way to having the body on the floor if it's not on the floor. And feet flat on the floor and drop the knees side to side, just as an expression of, a beginning place, but also working with this sensing the body in all of its parts as a slow dropping the knees side to side, a beginning in that sacroiliac joint and in the hips, this pelvis that is interestingly very tender as we get older. So honoring those people that figured out how to have hip replacements, holding myrrh in our heart and all of our pelvises, because mine's a little weak. Penelope's already been through the hip replacement, and I know so many people. Then drop the knees to one side, turn the head to the other. And again, just grounding, just feeling, where does your body touch the floor? Where does it not? Just a beginning place. And finding the breath wherever you are, deciding, what kind of breath do I need right now? Do I need to take a deep breath? Can I keep a comfortable, steady breath? Do I need to do a little deep breathing right now? You're deciding. In every moment, we're deciding, but on the yoga mat or when we're in the yoga process, it's one of these conscious deciding to train us for when we're off the mat. Then to the other side, knees to the other side. When you're breathing and you're relaxing into whatever stretches you feel. So it's gentle, but I know that I'm always feeling certain areas more than others. I'm always feeling certain areas show themselves or speak to me. Sometimes little parts of the body, sometimes larger parts of the body. Sometimes it's how full my belly is from a meal. Sometimes it's how tired I feel or how not tired I feel. And then bring the feet to center, pull the knees in. Again, keep feeling it. Pull the knees in as far as you can pull. And then roll the ankles and point and flex the feet. And if it takes one leg at a time, you do one leg at a time. Then see if you can bring your head up to your knees, and how far down can the hands go to the feet? Can your hands go to the toes? Can they go to the ankles? Do they stay at the knees? Do you need to use a strap behind your knees? How's your head doing? Does it need to be on a cushion? Do you need to hold one hand behind your head or two? Then 5-pointed star. However you can do this where you are. Take a deep breath in with sigh. Letting it out. Any kind of tension, of any kind of thought tension too. Things that are causing us disruption in our consciousness because we're living in such changing, challenging times. Let it go for this time that we have together. Then feet flat on the floor or to the recliner and a cerebral spinal fluid balancer, because this holds our trauma. And the trauma can be something little or large. And our trauma can be happening, constantly at a low level with us not even knowing, especially during these times of change. And the trauma makes the nervous system go into that little bit of fear overload, false evidence appearing real. But it is something that's a trigger. So you want to find ways to calm that trigger, and this is one of them. And yoga and the breathing and the meditation, all of that is part of it. Then place the feet flat on the floor and the hands behind your head, press into the lower back and release. And that's the simple way of squeezing at the pelvic floor and using your abdominals. Lift up as you press into the lower back with elbows out to your sides. If it works for you, you can always pick the feet off the floor, or I don't know how you do it on the recliner, but you're doing it, whatever you're doing. Squeeze at the pelvic floor and exhale as you come up. Little tiny lifts. You don't have to put your head all the way down, but you can. That blowing out will tighten your core a little bit more. Then hold for a moment. Don't hold your breath, but you're holding. And so it's a different way of strengthening. It's an isometric strengthening of the core. And then pull the knees in. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, then feet flat on the floor, hands behind your head again. Or you're just doing cross crawl, lying down or on the recliner. Or if you can, you're lifting up, elbow up towards the knee. If you want, you're picking the feet off the floor and keeping them going. And exhale on each side, so take time. Now you can lengthen one leg out if you've got that strength in you. Always follow your own truth. As we age and as we have different things happen to us, our truth changes in our body. Then hold one side. Just feel it. Take a breath. Don't hold the breath. Hold the other side. Take a breath. And then pull the knees in. Feel that. Lengthen legs out. Stretch arms behind the head. Over the head, if you want. And notice your shoulder. Notice what happens in the neck and shoulders. And see what your body says to what you're doing. Do the shoulders need to be bent? Do you need to have them out to the sides at an angle? what do you need to get something to work with range of motion? Then relax and just see where the elbows will allow you to go. See if if you keep cushions all around you, you can use the cushions to hold anything up. And just notice what it feels like to be extended out on the floor like this. Where does your body touch the floor? Where does it not touch the floor? Then release the arms down by your sides and just feel it. Bring the feet flat on the floor. Cross one ankle over the other opposite knee. Doesn't matter which one, because you know what we're going to do. Press that knee away. You can put the left, I'm my left foot, but you can put one foot, the foot on the floor. You can put it on a block if you want, or you can just push away, or you can push away using your muscles, squeeze at the pelvic floor, use the muscles to push away, and then release. Push away, and then release. Now, those of you that can do thread the needle or take a strap and put it between your legs, and you're pulling in here. You'll feel the pelvis a little bit. You'll feel at the piriformis there. That gets tight. Then you're deciding too, can you work the knee from here? Press away and release. Press away and then pull in. Do some isometric site kind of work. It's really strain counter strain. It comes from the osteopathic trainings and teachings of Dr. Still. Press the knee away from you and then pull in. How much can you pull in? Can you lace the fingers over the top of your knee? If you do, what happens to the shoulders and neck? What happens to the hip? You're just practicing. You're just exploring the body. Then let that go and let it go and shake out the hip. That was my right side I was doing. Now I'm going to bring the left foot over and feel it. Just start to feel it. You press it away and release. You press it away. Now you can use your hand, or you could use your muscles of your legs to press that knee away, muscles of your thigh, and then release. And then you can go up further with your ability to bring your leg up. And lace the fingers around the back of your leg, thread the needle, your hand goes through the triangle made by the legs. You let the shoulders pull forward a little bit, head's tilting back a little bit. And then you decide, can I pull in or can I push that knee, the left knee out a little bit and give it a little bit of isometrics and then pull it in, releasing. And your arms are moving too if you want. And then you decide, can I bring my hands and lace the fingers on the top of the knee? So your knee is bent a little further, you're pulling in a little bit further. You'll feel it in your hip, you'll feel it in your leg. See what's happening. Your shoulders pull forward, your head tilts back. Gentle, moderate, vigorous is always available to all of us. And then let it go. Let the legs go and shake them out. And then find your strap for the leg stretch series. And bring the right foot up into the strap. And how do you hold it? Are you holding a strap with two sides? Do you have a strap with a loop? I like to wrap the strap around one hand. I have the loop and or with both of them, and I wrap it to stretch my wrist, and then I lower my elbow down and lengthen out that leg, and I'm working my my bicep here. So you're working a little bit of the arms to work with this here, and I'm going to also make sure I have a block handy to do this series. The left foot can either be flat on the floor or you can lengthen it out. So you've got a straight leg with the other, both straight legs, or one knee is bent, and you'll just see how this works for you. Now, notice where you have the sensation, various sensations, so that you can continue evaluating this area of the leg going, the trochanter going into the pelvis, how the muscles of the buttocks and that piriformis can act up, and how your pelvis is and how it feels. You're just exploring. How far up do you bring the leg? Can I flex my foot? Check out flexing your foot. How does that feel to the behind your knee? How does your arm respond? Do you need two hands with the strap on both sides and you're holding it with two hands? We're all different and we're all at different ages. Then lengthen out that right leg so that then you have the left leg, which you're going to bring in two directions. One is down to the side. And here's where you can take a block, you can put it under right at the joint, between the joint of the hip and the upper leg, or you can put it down lower, down to the side. You can put it up on its side. So you're playing with either a cushion or a block or not at all. And if you're not, then maybe you're holding it up and you're using that bicep, the wrist, the forearm. You're using and strengthening a lot of the arm, a lot of the arm that's holding this, and the wrist. Now, if any of those things are sore, you can also take both hands and hold the strap in both hands so that you have the ability to help the stretch and not have to hold it up with the one arm. So you're just feeling it, and you're feeling, you don't want the body, the whole pelvis to go to the side. So maybe you're too far and you want to come back up. Maybe you need to bring the leg up a little bit by changing a position of the block. So you really play with this to get a good stretch, inner thigh stretch. You're going to feel that the adductor muscle there into the groin. And that's the idea. Then bring that leg over and twist the body. You're not twisting the buttocks off the floor. You're just twisting the leg. And that's where the block, if it works, or a cushion, you put it between your legs. And then again, you're finding, what am I going to do with the strap? Am I going to hold it in two hands? Am I going to hold it in one hand, elbow on the floor? My other hand is going to get strengthened this way. And when we go to the other side, you're going to strengthen it again. So we're doing isometric exercise for our arms, stretching in places that we don't get to stretch really, down the iliotibial band, in, at the edge of that knee, down through to the ankle. And you're deciding, how much support do I need? Do I need a block, or do I need a cushion, or do I just use my hand and just go however it feels easy? Now, if you're holding with your arm, you're going to stretch and you're going to work that both parts of the arms. The arms are working hard using a strap. Okay, then bring that leg up. Again, put the left foot on the floor, cross the right ankle over the knee. And this time you're going to hold the knee and the foot and pull in, lengthen out that left leg or right leg, whichever one you're on, and then point and flex. And maybe you'll even want to lift the head up and point and flex. And you'll see you're going to get a stretch of that inner thigh again. It's going to be an interesting journey with our legs this morning. And then pause, and then let go. Shake out the legs. Ooh. And then to the other side. The first thing is lengthen the leg out straight. I put the strap on the ball of the foot. You can decide how it does best on your foot, but generally the ball of the foot, wrapping my wrist with the strap, lengthening out and settling my left elbow onto the floor. Feeling what's happening there in this leg. Both legs are usually very different. Mine certainly are. And so just notice, notice if you can flex your foot or not. Notice the strain. Notice how far down you need to lengthen your leg down or lower the leg down, or how far up you get to a perpendicular position. And you're just sort of evaluating, noticing. Don't forget to breathe. Feeling it, breathing it, being. Usually what happens for me is that when my wrist or my arm, something starts to feel like it's enough. And for each of that might be different. So you have to follow your own truth in your body, and you have to listen to your body speak your truth. Then lengthen out the right leg and bring the if you need a block, I've got this down on the left side. You're not going to see it as well on the screen, although you see how it looks different. And then how am I going to hold that? I still have to wrap my hand there, or I'm going to hold it with both hands. I'm going to pull with both hands and strengthening the hands, working with the wrist, working with the forearm, the elbow, the upper arm. This is really an arm strengthener process, is a stretching of the legs and a strengthening of the arms. So honor that in yourself, and honor what do you need to do to feel okay with it. Then bringing that block, if you're using one, placing it between the legs. If not, you're just seeing how far the body will go, keeping the right buttocks, or keeping at least one side of your body fully on the floor, and the other side is up off the floor. So you're not rolling onto your side. Then again, the contemplation of your arms, the contemplation of block or no block between the legs. And then you're feeling it. You might feel the iliotibial band, but even more than that, down from the knee to the ankle, the peroneus, I think it is, that goes down there, unless I'm on the wrong side of the leg. I started to learn the muscle names just to, sort of have a friendly name for them as they get tight. And then bringing that leg up, right foot on the floor, or whatever feet you have. I just didn't start out telling you left and right. Again, lacing the fingers. I'm sorry, this one, we already did that one. We're going to pull in and really pull in, and you can feel different kinds of stretches. I can feel it in my inner thigh and around the outer and in the knee a little bit. Then lengthen that opposite leg, the right leg for me, out. The left knee is bent, lifting the head and just being there if you want. Again, there's no, you have to listen to your truth again, and then decide, can I and do I want to strengthen the quad with a point and a flex, and an inhale and an exhale as you raise and lower the extended leg. And then hold for a moment. See how that hold is. And then let it go. Shake out the legs. Now you're either going to roll over to your side or rock yourself up. Come to mermaid position for a moment. just to feel it. Then you come from here up to your hands and knees, or sit on a chair, or hold on to the back of a chair, or somewhere that you can just hold on and do some cat-cow. Ah. Inhale one direction, exhale the other. Then hold one direction. Take a breath or two or three. And the other direction. Then to put this in motion, down, around, and up. And again, if you're on a chair, you just fold over and then come back up and go into a back bend and fold over. Or you find your way with this in a different way. Then change directions. Now you're strengthening your arms still in another way. And then when you come back to center again, see if you can fold back. How far can you fold back? You know, grab that cushion if you need to and fold. And if you're in a chair, just fold over. Wanting to keep the, keep the mobility in the knees, even if one of them hurts a little bit. Like I have a really torn up knee, but I just say keep working with it to keep the range of motion um and keep feeling. Don't protect it so much. Get used to the understanding of sensation rather than pain, and look for the discernment. Then when you're ready, if this feels right, you're going to come out and up into upward dog, and just notice if it feels good. And then back again on the chair, you're just moving your spine. Oh. Inhale and exhale, do a few of these. And then last one. And then up to hands and knees to tuck the toes. Again, if you're using the push-up bars or grippets for the wrist, heel walk, straighten one leg at a time. Notice if they feel any different doing it now than doing it, after the leg stretch series, or doing it when we do in the other times we've done this. Walk forward, hang over. Again, you're folding back on the chair. You're stretching the backs of your legs by putting one leg out and folding over towards that leg on the chair, or standing up, holding on to something. Then bend the knees and bring yourself up and all the way up, not to be dizzy, and a little bit of a back bend to come to here. Shake it out. Ah, that was good. Haven't done that leg stretch series for a while. Then today, the ha breaths, to start out with, being in a standing position. That ha breath is that one that is the release of all the stuff we don't want. It's the release of that of the stuff that makes us feel sad, angry, sad, mad, glad, scared. The glad piece we like, but sad and mad and scared are the ones we want to tone down. So imagine that you could just get rid of that for now, for times that you need to be clear of it, and inhale up and go, ah. A little force out there. Ah, loud. Ah, no one's listening. Ah, last time. Ah, and then hook up just in case you're dizzy. Then, let's see if we can do a little bit of adjustment here. Then the one place where we didn't do really is side to side. So let's get into 5-pointed star and go side to side and side to side and side to side. Noticing we're extending our arms. If that doesn't work for your arms because of a shoulder, then side to side at your waist. And then hold one side. Now, 5-pointed star, widen legs. We haven't done this before. We don't do it very often. Other side. Decide whether your legs need to be in a different position. Then warrior goddess. Bend the knees into the center, side to side. You can always work the spine. Okay. And then arms up. Bend the knees. And this time we're going to shake out the arms. And then we're going to do twist and twist. And ha, 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 ha. Slow it down and back. And then shake out the body. Ah. Okay. Onto the right foot. Again, you've got lots of options. Balance, right? How can you play with balance? Tree, toe on the floor, toe below the knee. You really want to work it, toe above the knee. You can even hold it there. Put one hand on your chest or above. If that's too much, just fall out of it or hold on to a wall. See which one's right for you. For me, today, if I go into my floor, I can do it a lot better. So I've got a little floor space here. And yeah, it's always easier on a stable platform rather than the carpet. And here we are. And then down on that side, up on the other side. I'm bouncing to get there first, toe on the floor, toe above the ankle, below the knee, and then decide, do you want to go further? Where do the hands go? It's all your choices, but it's focus, attention, concentration. And then let it go. Then we've been practicing this one, the dancer. And come to the side. You can see I'm lifting my foot, bend the knee, arms come out, fingertips are together. Let's see if I can get closer to the screen. I can, yes. And oh, then you're deciding, and do you want to strengthen here? You can, if you're strengthening the arms already. Otherwise, you can hold on to something, hold on to the wall or back of a chair. Just your body, the mind is being trained as much as like the body. So you just do what you can and then let that go. Go to the other side, get there first, lift up, decide if you want to strengthen, flex the foot, lift the quad. Fitness yoga, that's what we're doing also, but the other, supportive yoga, restorative yoga, put your foot onto a block, a chair, whatever is going to give you the sense of focus, attention, concentration, and then let it go. Notice we just also use those, continue to strengthen the arms, even in a balancing posture. Then a simple onto the toes and back and up to the toes. Can you go up to the toes? A lot of people lose the ability to come to their toes. My feet will wobble, but I can still get there to keep the toes working. And then down. And you're working the backs of the legs. Then decide hands at the heart, hands above your head, all the way up or down. And you're just sort of there. This is toe balance. It's one of the simpler, but not really for everybody. squeeze at the pelvic floor. See if you realize that your core holds us up a little bit and works those legs a little bit. Then shake out the legs. Hold on to something or not for a stretch of the toe. So you're just going to turn the toe back and then turn. And so work those toes a little bit. You know, as much of a yoga posture as anything else is just to, you know, stretch the front of your foot here and work those toes also. Often very, very common to have neuropathy in the toes. So working the toes actually really helps with that. So you're working the toes, and especially that front stretch of the foot. A lot of people don't do it. Sometimes I can get a cramp in my foot, in the bottom of my foot there, if I do it too much. So you're watching that too, and you're going, oh, okay, a cramp. Okay, now what do I do? Now you work it. You work the toe to get it back if your foot cramps. Okay, looking at the time here. We spent a lot of time talking in the beginning, so we're going to go a little bit over. I hope that's okay. So here we are with our standing, and what we didn't do much of is a spinal twist. So here, an interesting way to do the spinal twist standing is to look at your hands and see your peripheral vision. So you're staring at your hands, and then slowly bring the hands around to the right. It doesn't matter which direction really. And you're looking at your hands and you're seeing everything else all the way around. Your hips are facing forward. Your left hand comes down on your hip if you're with me with right and left, and the other hand's behind your back. So it looks like this. And your head is turned all the way over. Your knees are facing forward. Your feet are facing forward. You're pulling it in at the abdominal. You're reaching up all the way up to the crown of the head. Chin is parallel with the floor, and you're looking around. Spinal twist. One or two breaths here. Notice what you're seeing. And then this time we're going to drop the hands down, bring them up, and you see the hands, but don't look at the hands. This time look at your whole, look at out from the hands to the room. You can see the hands as you slowly come around, and you just look around at everything that's in front of you and go all the way to the other side. Still, your hands are visible, but you're not looking at your hands this time. You're looking at the rest of the room, and you come down. And you're in the spinal twist. Pull at the belly button up from the pelvic floor, lift up out of the crown of the head. You're standing as tall as you can. Now, noticing and witnessing the shoulders that we do have that do hurt. Just remember to take in the sensation and that you feel it, but try to shift from the word pain to sensation, or to notice, like the more that we call it pain and work with the word pain, or I can't, or it doesn't have the right range of motion, or whatever it is, it doesn't help it heal. And we do have actually the power of healing for everything inside ourselves as we bring our arms up and around and down and shake it out. Then shake out the whole body before we come down. Oh, really shake it out. Get your buttocks going, and wrists and hands. This is the Qigong thing. ah, 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 ah. Then roll the shoulders up, back, and down. And the other direction. And then see how much range of motion you do have. Forward, let the body twist as it does. You're swimming, 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 and then backward, backstroke. Now, working with the shoulders and the neck is a thing. So drop the chin to the chest and feel the stretch. And And drop the chest down a little bit further with each breath. And with that, feel what happens in the shoulders and neck. Feel how it works. Feel the sensations you have. And in acceptance for what is, as you drop down, your knees bend slowly. Each breath brings you a little further down. And that's for those of us on the floor. On a recliner, you're finding your way gracefully in and out of that recliner. Hang out in ragdoll for a moment. Feel the stretches. Then go back in downward dog for a moment. Then down to the knees and around to our backs, and decide what's your last posture. Mine is supported reclined goddess with the cushion or a blanket rolled up underneath, soles of the feet together, blocks or no blocks to hold the knees up, and just see how that works while I take my strap and put my strap over my eyes. And just take a moment in stillness. Now you can just go to Shavasana. So for most of us, cushion under the knees helps to bring the spine into alignment. Breathe, relax, and feel. And then go back to our beginning meditation while you're here in a relaxed and open position. May I be free from suffering and pain. May I be happy and joyful. May I experience kindness, compassion and kindness. May I know my true nature, which is love. And then you can put someone's name in that place of the I. You might consider as if it's a him or a her. And it could be a blessing to somebody who you love. May you be free of suffering and pain. May you be happy and joyful. May you know your true nature, which is love. And may you experience compassion and kindness. Ah. This very last piece is a time of integration, where we've gone through the process of imagination, inspiration, intuition, and integration is here in this final piece Now, my first step of release from that is to bring my feet flat on the floor and my knees up to release my pelvis. I'm going to roll off this cushion that I have under my back and take it out and feel the release of my spine into a neutral position with constructive rest. And then rolling over to my side for a moment. Again, another transition, feeling the weight of my body change and shift with gravity. And pressing up into mermaid position. Each little movement, a way of paying attention to gravity, to the change of positions, to the water body that I am. And you can stay and take your time as long as you need to. Coming back to hands and knees for me, taking a moment to honor all beings on the four-leggeds. May all beings be free from suffering and pain. May all beings be happy and joyful. May all beings experience compassion and kindness. May all beings know their true nature, which is love. Then to the two-leggeds, then getting stable again on my own feet. And coming back to the screen.